From Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
It's day 2 of the massive snowstorm in Bismarck. Take a look at this video. The heavy snowfall is blanketing the area, and it seems like it just won't quit. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. Andrea is off. Blizzard warnings and travel advisories are in effect for the second day in a row. And we just got word from the DOT that the I-94 is closed in 30 minutes from Mandan to Dickinson. And so far, nearly 20 inches of snow has already fallen in some parts of the state. Here in Fargo, though, just some rain and gray skies. Let's head over to meteorologist Justin Fanfarilli to see if that's expected to change anytime soon. Justin?
And thank you, Christine, and good evening, everybody. Yeah, we are seeing a mix of some rain and some snow still around the area. Let's see where it is snowing right now. We are seeing a batch, especially into Lakes Country, just to the south and to the west of the Park Rapids area, approaching Elbow Lake, where temperatures are near freezing. We are still warm enough for rain here into the valley location. So from Wahpeton to Fargo to Crookston, we are seeing just some rain showers out there, and most of the snow is west of the Devil's Lake area and the Jamestown area, where they picked up over 12 inches of snow in some areas. Now, as we go through this evening, we will see some rain changing to some snow showers, and temperatures will fall from the mid-30s back into the lower 30s. And we will keep some snow showers even as we go through the day on Wednesday, but most of the moisture is gone from this system. Then we'll tell you what to expect later in the week, coming up later in the newscast.
Okay, thank you, Justin. And as a reminder, you can stay up to date on the weather conditions where you are anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just download the Storm Team Weather app to get the latest weather conditions and even follow the radar live. Search VNL Weather in the App Store. 31-year-old Brandon Thompson of St. Thomas, North Dakota, has landed himself in more trouble. Last month, he was charged with attempted murder for allegedly shooting at his estranged wife's boyfriend. Now, he's been charged with burning her house down. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us the latest in this case.
Last month, according to court records, Brandon Thompson returned home to find his estranged wife with another man. Thompson allegedly fired a warning shot at the man and then suffered a superficial wound after his wife shot him. Thompson was charged with attempted murder. A plea bargain of 60 days in jail for that incident has been put on hold. Now Thompson faces 4 felony counts of arson and criminal mischief for allegedly burning down the house along with the vehicle of his estranged wife's boyfriend. Pembina County Prosecutor Ryan Bialas declined to comment on the case today, but Brandon Thompson remains in jail and faces some serious prison time if convicted of the latest charges. Thompson faces 2 felony charges of arson and criminal mischief that each carry a 10-year prison sentence. Plus, he faces 2 other felony charges of criminal mischief that each carry 5-year prison sentences. Plus, there's the original attempted murder charge still hanging over his head that could now be rejected as part of a plea agreement deal. Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
Thompson also faces 2 misdemeanor charges of domestic violence in violation of a court order. Thompson allegedly assaulted his wife after a court order stated that he was not supposed to come within 500 feet of their home. And starting today, law enforcement will start blocking all people and supplies coming to and from the Dakota Access Pipeline protest campsite. The protesters fighting to block construction of the pipeline have vowed to stand their ground despite growing calls for them to leave. North Dakota Governor Jack Dalrymple has also ordered protesters to vacate, and sheriff's deputies will enforce the order. Dalrymple's executive order explains that if you are seen sending supplies to the protest site, you could be fined up to $1,000. It also says anyone who chooses to enter, re-enter, or stay in the evacuation area does so at their own risk. To read the full statement, head to valleynewslive.com. The National Transportation Safety Board released a preliminary report today saying the pilot of the plane that crashed just short of the runway in Moorhead last week simply just lost sight of the runway. NTSB says the plane ended up landing in a field about a half a mile short of the runway. Now, you may remember how foggy it was that night. The report says visibility was a half mile within clouds 300 feet above the ground at the time of the crash. Minnesota residents buying health insurance through the state's exchange are getting more help from the federal government. MNsure said today that the average subsidy for health plans is 3 times higher than it was last year. The extra financial help is critical with premiums skyrocketing for the 2017 coverage. But just 57% of MNsure shoppers qualify for financial assistance, while the rest pay full price. Those making too much to get federal subsidies have been the focus of weeks of talk about a potential special session. Governor Mark Dayton has called for a rebate to offset the costs for those full price payers. Lifetime Fitness agreed to pay nearly 16,000 employees nationwide in back wages and damages after a federal investigation found the company violated minimum wage requirements at its gyms in 26 states. The investigation found that the company took deductions for uniform costs, which then resulted in workers making less than the minimum wage per hour. The company will pay anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million in back wages and damages. Students at the Ohio State University are back on campus today, just one day after a student intentionally drove his car into a group of pedestrians and then started stabbing several more with a butcher knife. The Ohio State University was bustling with students almost like a normal day. But students say they feel far from normal just one day after an attack that sent 10 of their classmates to the hospital. Several students said they are relieved to see the increased police presence on campus. And run, hide, fight were the words sent out by the Ohio State University yesterday when the attack happened on campus. The 3 words describe how you should respond if you're in an active shooter or violent situation. The same words are recommended by local college campuses right here.
You ever heard of run, hide, fight?
Yes and no. I've heard of like run and hide and like find help, but not like fight. I was confused by that.
Coming up tonight on Valley News Live at 6, find out if local public schools are teaching that same phrase. American Crystal Sugar is investigating an employee who is accused of making inappropriate and offensive comments. The company says this employee made the comments on a social media account on his personal time. A statement from American Crystal Sugar says, in part, "We find these comments reprehensible. American Crystal Sugar Company takes this matter very seriously, and we are conducting an investigation," adding such views do not represent our company, our values, or how we conduct business. The employee has been removed from the workplace as the facts are being sorted out. Police say 6 people survived and more than 70 others were killed when a plane carrying a Brazilian professional soccer team crashed in Colombia last night. The team was on its way to the finals of an important South American championship. NBC's Chris Pallone has this report.
Aviation authorities say the plane lost radar contact after declaring an emergency just before 10 Monday night. The pilots reportedly radioed in that they were experiencing an electrical failure. On board the chartered aircraft, the up-and-coming Chapecoense soccer team from southern Brazil. The team was traveling to Colombia for the first leg of a 2-game Copa Sudamericana final, the continent's second most important championship. But what was supposed to be a celebration amid their fairy tale rise this season quickly turned into a tragedy. Rescuers worked through the night and throughout the day today, scouring the wreckage at the crash site. 7 passengers were rescued alive, but one of them died at the hospital, bringing the total number of survivors to 6. Expressions of grief are pouring in from all over the soccer world. South America's federation canceled all scheduled matches in a show of solidarity, and the Colombian club, who would have been Chapecoense's opponents in the Copa Sudamerica final, have asked the South American Football Confederation to award the Brazilian team the title. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Brazil's president has also declared 3 days of official mourning for the crash victims. 4 people are named finalists for the Morehead City Manager position. The people who will be interviewed for the job are Sean Hennessy, the county administrator in Marionette, Wisconsin, Larry Krause, who worked most recently as a city administrator in Wilmar, Minnesota, Aaron Parrish, the city administrator in Forest Lake, Minnesota, and Christina Volkers, the court executive officer in San Bernardino, California. Morehead's former city manager, Michael Redlinger, resigned unexpectedly in April after a closed-door meeting with the city council. The BNSF Railroad is one of the largest in our nation and has a huge impact on North Dakota and Minnesota. That's one of the messages company executives brought to a Chamber of Commerce-sponsored meeting in Morehead today. The session is called Railroads 101, and the idea is to brief chamber members in the community about those impacts and also get help from the business community before lawmakers return to Bismarck and St. Paul for their respective legislative sessions. They emphasize the importance of funding for the Morehead underpass and state dollars for railroad-related safety training for local police and firefighters. The bonding bill, which had money for the underpass, died in the closing days of the Minnesota legislative session back in May. Area companies are turning for help from one mobile trailer focused on the safety of their employees. M-State teamed up with the Northern Region Association of Safety Professionals. The focus of the conference and the trailer is to train employees on how to handle situations like falling from scaffolding or rescuing through a crawl space. The goal is to cover everything safety related for all industries.
And our goal is to make sure that everybody is always up to date and giving their employees the best and most current information so that they can stay knowledgeable on what the expectations of them are as a company and also as an employee or supervisor or wherever you might fit within an organization.
NRAS was in its 20th year of safety professionals meeting together. The Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign is in full swing, but there are still many shifts left to fill. Over 4,000 hours just to be exact. So if you would like to ring bells for the Salvation Army, head over to our website and click on the hot button for more information. Still ahead tonight, a new record was broken on Black Friday, but it might not be what you think. We've got the details right after this break.
And let's take a look at the Valley News Live Storm Team Skycam network. We have a camera now in Dickinson where they picked up 8 to 12 inches of snow with an additional 3 to 6 on the way. Snow-covered roofs and roadways. We'll tell you how much snow we're going to get in the valley coming up next.